Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS. Fans, brews, and Broncos news.
Sorry, I'm counting up the number of Broncos wins, and I keep getting lost and having to start over because I'm not used to counting this high, guys. Anyway, guys, welcome to Bourbon Broncos No BS Postgame Podcast. My name's 𝐏𝐸𝐷. We got Adam, Scott the Flag Man. We got John here with us tonight. Standard normal crew on a Monday night, and as normal, we are talking about another Broncos win, 11 in a row, guys. It's fantastic. As Gus points out in the comments, 12 for the season, 12-2. We're going into week 16, 3 games left of the year, and we already have a playoff spot clinched. We're sitting at number 1 in the conference with essentially 2 games to spare because we do have the tiebreaker. So we would have to lose 2 of the next 3 games for the Patriots to have a chance at getting the number 1 spot, and that just is not going to happen, guys. I mean, the Broncos continue to play the way they're doing. We got this bye week kind of looking really pretty for us right now. So, guys, post your comments, post your questions. We're going to go around the horn, start talking about stuff. Adam, we're going to start with you, man, checking in with you. And let's just go ahead and run us through, all 11 reasons why the Broncos won yesterday. So, I know you have it all figured out. 11 reasons, buddy, go.
All 11 reasons. Let's start from reason number 1. No, that would be really boring. And I like lists. Not everybody likes lists as much as I do. But my question is, what is the narrative this week on why we should be underdogs this week? Did we not blow out Green Bay by 50? Did we not cripple another member of their team? I don't know. Did Jordan, did we pick off Jordan Love twice in road games that he's never, completed anything other than a gorgeous ball? I don't know. Whatever it may be, whatever the question or whatever the narrative is this week, the cold, hard realities of it is that it's 12 in the win column and 2 in the loss column, which also happens to be the best in the AFC right now. And, I know that we keep talking about disrespect, not to take everything so personally. What was the 4-letter network talking about today? Were they talking about the Broncos? Let me answer that question. No, they were talking about the chefs, that other team out west, and what they need to do to retool. So whatever the case may be, I'm not sour. I'm not salty. I'm just saying. John,
just a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. No, John, you had a very interesting experience yesterday and somehow able to just keep the game result quiet for a while. I know the only time I've tried that, it did not work. So seriously, good job on you for just waiting until you could watch the game at a later time. But man, just to sit here, Sean Payton is just looking like such a genius, man. He just keeps proving himself right and proving other people wrong time in and time out. What do you think?
Well, anyone that's been doubting him this season, and we've had our fair share on this show at times for sure, but give it up to the guy. 12-2, best record, not only in the AFC, Adam, I'm going to correct you here, but in the entire NFL, which is phenomenal. Didn't think we'd be here after the last 2 seasons, last 10 seasons, but certainly with the whole Russell Wilson debacle and his contract and all that. So Sean Payton deserves all the credit for getting us to this point in a short 2-year turnaround. Pretty amazing. And this was a big game. Everyone was coming into this game still calling us frauds. I don't know how you can be frauds with 11 wins, but this was a big show me game against the Packers. And boy, did Bo Nix show up for this one. I mean, I can't think of a better game in his career. It's funny. I was reading the ESPN article last week. They were talking about the 15 potential MVP candidates, and lo and behold, Bo Nix was in that. And I was like, I don't know if he's been playing MVP status. But I guess if you're on the team that has the most wins, I guess you just kind of get thrown in by default.
Yeah,
but
at least the conversation.
If he finishes out this season the way he did yesterday in the next 3 games, I mean, he's very much in contention after what I saw yesterday. 4 touchdowns.
0 interceptions. That's the other part of it. And you just go back to how much they were talking about. Jordan Love never throws interceptions on the road. He's only thrown 1 in like the last 50 bajillion years. It doesn't happen. And then what do the Broncos do? The Broncos do exactly what Scott has been asking them to do for weeks now.
Right?
Those turnovers. Scott, man, that must have been like amazing to see in the stadium or watching it. And you're like, that's what I'm talking about. I imagine that's how you cheer, is kind of like me, just loud and obnoxiously. So.
No, I don't do that.
I imagine it being very reserved.
But you know what's funny is I was talking to Andrew, the Mad Fanatic. And he was talking about, he and I were just talking. I was like, man, this team, the second gear for this team, everybody says you need a second gear for the playoffs. And I was like, they got a second gear. This defense is going to start making some turnovers. We have got to start being ball hawks, and it started. And he was like, dude, I made Den of Thieves thinking that was what this defense was going to be, and I can't even release it because we can't turn over the ball. And it was like, we're going to turn the ball over. This defense is too good to not start racking up some big-time turnovers. And then the next step is racking up, like, turnover scores, scooping scores, pick sixes. It's going to happen. That's our second gear. And of course, I started saying at the beginning of the year, this offense is not as bad as everybody thinks.
Right.
I do believe that Sean Payton, part of the reason he's so bad in September and so great in October is it takes that extra month with all the changes, all the substitutions, for all these guys to understand what their role is. And now it's happening. And then you bring off a guy like, I don't know, my favorite number, 17. Oh, little Jordan, who suddenly
little
is
Jordan
making plays. I'm sorry, but the guy is he's a favorite of Sean Payton.
Oh,
he
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he trusts him above all. You got somebody you trust. And maybe you have somebody, I don't know, maybe you get somebody like, what's that guy we drafted at Alabama a few years ago, number 1? That guy can't catch a damn cold.
Not sure who you're talking about.
Somebody you can trust. And we got it. We got it.
Yeah, the wide receiver situation from yesterday was really something to watch, because we saw that Pat Bryant wasn't going to play, and there's a lot of talk I know from us on the show and the pregame podcast and stuff talking about, they've been trying to get the ball a lot to Troy Franklin, hoping he develops and everything, and we were kind of saying it's time you start maybe trying Pat Bryant a little bit more. Maybe one of these other guys. Yeah, they're talking about getting Marvin Mims more engaged, because Troy Franklin just wasn't always consistent when it came to catching the ball. But you're talking about players stepping up when it really matters.
Shit.
6 for 6, 85 yards for Troy Franklin yesterday.
And a stolen touchdown.
Dude. Yeah, they had a touchdown, which, yes, should have been a touchdown, was a touchdown, but the ref, I hope, is fired as of this morning. Either way, dude, this guy definitely stepped up yesterday. And we can talk about Michael Brandy as well. Honestly, did anyone even remember that he was on the team in any fashion?
I didn't know
right?
he was active. Holy
No,
crap.
exactly.
How much
And he goes out there.
on first touchdown. Pisses me off.
Man. So I think all the way around, the wide receiver core from yesterday deserves a huge round of applause. Cortland Sutton, 7 for 10, 113 yards. He surpassed somebody on the Broncos history. He made something. I can't remember what they said. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Haven Moses. Haven
Maybe.
Moses. Yeah, it was Haven Moses.
Yeah. Either way, Cortland Sutton.
25, and he was great. Part of the Eminem connection, but
yeah,
I get it. I'm the old guy.
We love you anyway. That's fine.
So, I see, comments from Michael like this. I was glad to see Mims more involved in the offense. We definitely saw more from him. 4 for 6 from him, 29 yards. But again, he's such a danger on the punt returns, which for a while there was like, me. Are we ever going to get the Packers to punt? But it worked out there, right? The defense tightened up. Right. So maybe as much as I want to just drool over this offense and everything we saw from Bo Nix yesterday, defense was a little interesting in that I think we all expected the defense to go out there and look a whole lot stronger initially, and it did not look good at the very beginning. The coverage defense just getting torn apart all the way down the field, time and time again. I was like, are these guys going to make a stop? So, guys, what did you see from that?
Well, it was really reminiscent of that Washington game, where it just didn't seem like there was an especially aggressive approach the first half, and then whatever the adjustment was completely worked because they were held to nothing but field. Outside of the Josh Jacobs touchdown, which was aided by one of the most egregious defensive pass interference calls that I have seen in quite a while. To put it in perspective, Tony Romo, who does not miss an opportunity to fawn over Jordan Love, was also like, I don't know that I would have called that in that same situation. So, but again, from a defense that's known as being a primarily man coverage defense, they played zone for most of that game yesterday and went and beat Jordan Love at his own game. So, kudos all the way around. If the defense doesn't get a couple stops there, they can't get the offense back in the game. The interception that PS2 had basically was kind of the dam that broke open everything. And then, of course, they got to put on their Superman capes there at the end of the game, came up with the 2 stops that ended it. So it was complimentary football. The offense did their part. The defense did their part. The coaching staff came up with great adjustments. This was another great team win. This wasn't just like a few Superman performances. This was a comprehensive team effort.
Yeah. 100% total team win. And man, when we went down by 9 points coming out of the second half, that first drive, and the egregious, it's bad for the refs when Tony Romo's on the Broncos side.
Right.
I'm not going to harp on Moss getting penalties and flags because I've done it plenty on this show, and I don't want another 5-minute rant on this. But then to go out there and Surtain with that huge pick, Adam, like you said, just that changed the game. That was the only time in the game that I was like, uh-oh, is this getting away from us? Down 9. And then our offense goes out and I think 3 plays and, 9, they got 1 yard, I think, on the next drive and went down by 9. And then Surtain on the first play, I think it was, first play of that next drive. And then, bam, the game was back on for the offense. And that was when, they drove down and Sutton had that touchdown. So, props to Surtain and the defense for sticking to it. The Packers were giving us hell basically until that point. In the first half, I don't know how many, there was about 5 or 6 times on drives where the guy was just wide open. I'm like, who is covering? Who is playing?
Right.
No, yeah.
And it was just atrocious in the first half in defense. But look, Packers are a good offense. If I was happy that our offense could match them, keep us in the game long enough to wear them down, because then on those last few drives, we had 2 huge sacks that saved the game and put it away for us. So being up 8 in those positions felt amazing. It was like, okay, they have to score and get a 2-point conversion, but the defense said, no, we're just going to handle business, take them out, and they're not going to have a chance to tie this thing.
I agree. The thing is, you got screwed in the first part of that third quarter.
Yeah.
And he doesn't go on that long run if the guy just does what he should do. That was garbage. And, you want to talk conspiracy theory. I'm so tired of referees inserting them into the game. Nobody has bought a $300 seat to watch some old fart in white and black. And I guess maybe that's why they wear white and black, because they're a bunch of criminals, decide a game. And that was BS. And, I was really concerned because they let that big play happen right after that. And I'm thinking,
me too.
Man, they're just thinking about it. And then they came out and they put their helmets on and strapped it up and said, bullshit, no more. We're done with this. And players make plays when they need to make plays.
I'm glad you said that, Scott. I'm glad you said that, Scott, because I think it's time. I wasn't sure when I was going to say this during the show, but the reason we won the game was 100% because of me and players making plays. I recognized, after halftime there, Green Bay scores. I recognized something's off here. I need to move out of this chair and go to a different seat. And I'm not lying to you. You guys can check it in the group chat there. The very moment I did that, the play immediately after that was Pat Surtain's interception. And for the rest of the game, I did not get up out of the seat. My beer was out of reach. It was sad, but I knew what I was committed to, and I knew how vital me moving chairs was to the game. And so I'm just saying, if there's anyone to really give any pure recognition for as to like why we won, I'll gladly accept all forms of contributions, recognitions, awards. If you need my address, I'll send it to you. Monetary is good too. I'm just saying. Well, it's kind of weird. It's only crazy if it didn't work, and it definitely worked. But either way, once that interception, I think, was key. You're talking about momentum, and this is you go back to the game against the Raiders last year. What happened? We're kind of struggling. Pat Surtain gets a huge interception, and things immediately turn around. Dude, amazing.
It's only weird if it doesn't work, right? So, yeah.
You're weird.
I'm sorry that I didn't thank you earlier. Thank Kev.
You should have.
From the bottom of my heart, buddy. From the bottom of my heart, right here.
Love it.
My man.
I don't know about you guys, but I might have saw some of the best catches I've seen all year in this game on both sides.
Yes.
But those touchdowns, just because that Sutton touchdown was right after that interception, but got him, Lil Jordan Humphrey with his touchdown, and I mean, for the Packers, that Josh Jacobs catch was ridiculous. Like,
oh my goodness,
Greenlaw was in the perfect position. You can't be mad. You can't be mad when he scores that. It's just
it was almost identical to like Riley Moss's play from the Washington game, where it was just like, if that's the effort it takes to beat us, I guess bravo. There's nothing you can do about that. Because I mean, Jacobs even switched the ball like mid transition. So yeah, Greenlaw in total perfect position. Came through the ball, still tried to play the ball through his hands. And Jacobs pulled it down.
To do there. And you don't expect him to throw to Josh Jacobs 20 yards, right? Like the guy doesn't have TD catches in his career. And 3rd and 15, if I'm Greenlaw and I'm doing everything right, I'm assuming that I'm just made the play that's going to force him to field goal. So I got to give him props on that one. But then, Troy Franklin had 2 touchdowns, 1 called back because of great officiating. And, obviously the Sutton touch and then Lil Jordan Humphrey is just – and then Bandy. Yeah, where did Bandy come from? Ridiculous. I mean,
I saw him out there in that play, and I'm like, number 83.
Who's that? It's not Walsh Walker. He's gone.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Whatever, but I didn't think anything of it. And I think obviously that's what they thought. Who's this guy? Whatever.
I think it
it worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
It's also a testament to Bo Nix is that he doesn't really have he does look for Courtland Sutton on third down. However, he spreads the ball around quite a bit. I mean, Sutton had 7 catches, Franklin had 6, Humphrey
had 3.
Had 3. Yep. I mean that's spreading the ball around. I mean, Bandy got involved. It's a testament to maybe not having a true. I know that we know Courtland Sutton is our number 1 receiver. I don't know that you would call Courtland Sutton a true number 1 receiver. But that's beside the point. Beside the point. But again, for a team that does not have marquee offensive weapons on the offensive side of the ball, Bo's making it work, and that's what you're basically at. That's what elite quarterbacks do, is they raise the bar on the talent that's already surrounded, that they're already surrounded with. So it's just another check mark in Bo Nix's category on why this dude is the future. He's the future of our franchise.
Yeah, I'm personally, I love the play. Bo breaks out of the pocket and starts running towards the line of scrimmage. And then just kind of stops. And Franklin kind of goes to the side. And then he just starts running again. And that pass, that was just, I'm like,
right?
He's going to run for the first down. But then and this is the change we've seen in him. And now he's suddenly making those throws he was missing last year. Or earlier in the year, where you're like, run, you pick up the first down, and now he's like, hey, go. And his receivers are doing that. They're getting on the same page, and I love it. I love the fact that you got a lot of people catching a lot of different passes, and Bo trusts what he's doing. And I don't know. I'm excited about the offense. Between the defense starting to get turnovers, and we'll see if they do that next week, because Lawrence will turn the ball over if you put him in that position.
Yeah.
And then the offense just making those tough catches that a lot of these receivers make for these great quarterbacks. We haven't had that all year long. They're dropping a lot of passes. And I don't know. I'm hoping we turn to the corner. But, man, I'm a Bo-liever. And I'm looking at taking this saying, why are we waiting? Let's go. Let's Bo. Let's Bo. Let's Bo. Here's
Bo Nix, who reminds me just so much of Patrick Mahomes. Okay, this guy that was my Chris Collinsworth interpretation. No, but what I wanted to talk about is something I have seen in Bo Nix, and the last 2 games, the Raiders, and then this week as well. There's been at least 2 plays where Bo Nix is getting a little tricky. He's throwing some people off. There was one play against the Raiders. I'm probably going to try to find these clips for tomorrow night's show, where he is looking further to the right, and he does not throw that ball until the defender takes the bite and starts moving off to the edge of the field there, and then he throws for the deep pass, right? And he's keeping his eyes there, his head looking that way. And as soon as he sees that guy move, boom, right, he goes for it. There was the play yesterday, and it was impressive that Tony Romo actually was the one talking about it and kind of give him credit for it. Yep. You saw Bo Nix trying to look down the field. He's scrambling. He's trying to get, and then he kind of slows down, like he's gonna go out of bounds, right? Or maybe he's gonna throw it out. Like you could tell, just kind of a slow motion arm, right? And what does he do at the very last second? As soon as the defenders are kind of like letting up, boom, right to Troy Franklin. beautiful kind of trickery. He's getting confident, right? It's not just swagger. It's not just that he's making good, solid foundational plays, but he's kind of figuring out what he needs to do with his eyes, with his body, to just throw the defense off just enough to make that play. And it's not like, when Patrick Mahomes fakes going out of bounds to maybe try to draw the penalty, for contact or flopping, right? He's not doing that crap. He's doing actual, honest, real good, just trickery with his body. And these defenders are biting off on it. So these are little things we're seeing from Bo Nix as he's developing that I am really impressed by over the last 2 weeks. And he keeps incorporating more of that into his play style. Dude, I still don't think Bo Nix has hit a ceiling. I really don't. I think there's even more to see from this guy moving forward.
I believe that's true.
Believe it.
Believe it. And look, if we went out, by the way, he will overtake, I can't remember who's at the top of the list for the most wins in the first 2 seasons. It might be Mahomes. I think
if he wins I think if we win the next 3, he will take the record. If we win 2, because maybe we're resting our starters on the last game or something, then he'll tie. But talk about an accomplishment.
Either way, not what we expected from the 6th quarterback picked in a draft. And Sean's been saying, this is my guy all along. And now we're starting to see it come through.
Yeah. It's looking really, really good. There's just so many names being thrown around the chat here. Michael again listed out all these guys, all touchdowns, no field goals for Broncos yesterday. And going back to your comment, Scott, about, Broncos kind of getting more turnovers and maybe eventually scoring off these turnovers. That's the really impressive thing, is we've gotten 12 wins this season, not really relying on pick sixes, scooping scores, right? And turnovers in general. The points we're getting, maybe they come all in the 4th quarter, maybe they're spread out through the game, but either way, they're coming from a Broncos offense led by Bo Nix. Bo Nix isn't scoring every touchdown, but there's the drives that get them down there that are led by Bo Nix, right? So all these people talking about, well, the Broncos, it's not pretty to look at, whatever. I'm looking at this win-loss column, guys, and I got to tell you what, it looks very beautiful to me. It looks beautiful to me. I'm just saying.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
No style points. There's no style points in winning, and you never have to apologize when you win. It doesn't matter if 1 or 100 by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning is winning. And the only stat that matters at the end of the day is who's in the dub column, who's in the L column. And Bo Nix tends to be in that W column quite a bit. So
22 wins in 2 years, not so bad with 3 games to go. And honestly, the way they've done it too, they're pretty battle tested compared to some of these other teams, and that could pay dividends in the playoffs. They talk about, you need to have like a loss to learn something. How about we just do it with a win and still learn those lessons that a loss would take? So I'm not concerned about are they going to keep it together in the playoffs? They've done it the hard way the whole season. So screw it. They're battle tested just as much as any other team out there.
Exactly.
And they have the best record.
Yep. Well, guys, we are at that time for the halftime part of the show here. So the other guys are going to grab their orange Gatorade, maybe some Uncrustables, stand and stretch out a bit while I go for a few things, but make sure you stick around because Bo Nix did have a 0 in a category that we definitely need to talk about. Guys, first off, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, is our Bourbon Broncos No BS flagship show every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. That's the one that's been going on for 10 straight years, guys. Make sure you're there. We'll finish up talking about this last week's game against the Packers, and we start getting ready for the Jaguars coming to town, the leaders of the AFC South. We're also then going to be moving on to the pregame podcast, which will be up on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher later on this week, so make sure you're following us there as well. And then we got our game day marathon of stuff, starting from 1 hour before kickoff, if you will, with our tailgate talk show live, breaking all the last minute information down, all the inactives lists, any other kind of things going on, injuries or illnesses or just whatever we need to talk about to get you ready for the game starting 1 hour before kickoff. And then at halftime, we're the original live halftime show. So make sure you guys tune in live at halftime as well. Also, make sure you guys go check out our website, broncosandbourbon.com. If you want a one-stop shop for all of our content, the shorts on YouTube, the videos, the live shows, all that stuff, head on over there. Adam's also doing a fantastic job putting up a bunch of articles over there as well. So if you want some even more Broncos content, you can comment and all that stuff, share your thoughts on everything going on. Make sure you head over to that website. It is still being built out, guys. So there are some bugs. We recognize that, but the offseason, unfortunately, is almost here. Not as soon as it has been in the past, but once the offseason starts, I will go back into
2.5 months.
Season.
Yeah, we got some time.
We're not looking forward to the offseason.
It's on the future. It's nowhere near. I think we got till February till we have to worry about the offseason. So either way, we got some time for that, guys. But make sure you sign up now because it is free, and eventually we will be introducing membership tiers, paid membership tiers. Everybody who signs up for free before the end of the Super Bowl, and I will be getting a list of everybody who signed up before the end of the Super Bowl, will be getting an automatically free upgrade once those membership tiers come out. Everyone else will have to either use the free version or pay, and you don't want to pay. So head on over and take advantage of this awesome offer while we're on the ground floor building that up. You guys also are going to want to tune in tomorrow night because we're going to be welcoming back officially a very special friend of ours who is coming back. And if you are a longtime fan of Bourbon Broncos and OBS, you might know who I'm talking about. And we are excited to have her back. And you are not going to want to miss out on tomorrow's show. With that being said, Ayla is in the chat. Ayla, it is good to see you chiming in there. So we will see you tomorrow night. Guys, I hope you're fueled up and ready to go because we got another 30 minutes of talking about the Broncos, which after 11 wins in a row is not a hard thing to do by any stretch of the imagination. Guys, talking about Bo Nix and getting a 0 in a category, he's been averaging 1.3-ish sacks per game. Yesterday was 0. And I know Micah Parsons went out, and as soon as that happened, the Green Bay fans, and I'm not happy about the injury. I hope Micah Parsons recovers well, right? But even with Micah Parsons in, they could not get to Bo Nix. And so to have him in a clean pocket all game long while the Broncos got 3 sacks on the game in the second half, and then, in really critical times as well. I mean, you just talk about, and I can't remember who it was here. Badoo said something about the O-line. Yeah, here it is, Andrew. Games are won in the trenches. O-line is a big reason for offense success. It's a big reason for, Bo Nix's success, Bo Nix's health. You build a good O-line around your quarterback, and they're going to have big success. And we're seeing part of that as a reason for the Broncos doing well. So, guys, you can't give enough credit to this O-line for everything they're doing.
No, you can't. And look, props to George Payton and Sean Payton. They brought these guys in. Where have we spent all our money? You have a rookie quarterback. We don't have to pay him, the astronomical numbers. We don't have to pay him the Trevor Lawrence numbers, which still cracks me up. But we spent on the offensive line and defense, and it's shown. And I can't name a single person on our offensive line that is not living up to their contract. If you guys want to throw a name out there, I don't see a glaring not living up to expectations on the offensive line. So it's huge, and I think you have to give credit to how they built this team. And we're in win now mode because we can be. And this is just the beginning. We're just building off of this now, and this is going to go forward for years, and it's freaking phenomenal to see.
Yeah, and an offensive line that's getting reinforcements with Ben Powers coming back here by this week or next week. Right. And even that one going down seemed like a very big hurdle at the time. Alex Palczewski's come in and played probably without missing a beat. So they don't get talked about as much, but the having the same 5 guys out there for almost 2 seasons now is that type of continuity that you really do need on the offensive line. And it goes past this season almost. I mean, I think everybody's locked up for at least the next 2 years. Plus you get a guy.
When's Power's contract up? You even know?
I think he has at least another year.
I think he's next season.
I know we got Miners locked up. We have Wattenberg locked up. We have Bowles locked up. McClinchy maybe 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. And Bowles, I talk about a love-hate relationship.
No, you gotta love him.
Biggest reclamation project on the team.
Instead of catching COVID, he actually caught. I know what the hell I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And I like that.
It's a good disease to catch. I'm glad he caught that one.
If there's something to catch.
He was holding last night.
It happens though sometimes.
Way down.
Micah Parsons from killing Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I keep seeing these posts. Oh, look at this holding. Yeah, they called it. He held him to save his damn quarterback. Took back like a 30-yard pass. And so what? That happens. He got beat. But
and it's like, when's the last time he got a holding penalty? Like, he has had a few this year, but you couldn't tell me when it was.
Really been good. And I'll tell you what, I can handle a couple holding penalties. Zimmerman used to get holding penalties, and that guy was amazing. Let's just get consistent. Let's not take stupid holding penalties.
Yeah.
But if it's either a 10-yard penalty or having our quarterback get the crap knocked out of him, take the penalty. Bowles has gone from somebody I hated and booed when he got that penalty and shouted out, holding number 70.
Number 72.
Every time they called a holding penalty and they waited till they announced the number, the entire stadium would announce his number.
Yeah.
That's not the case now. He's amazing.
No,
he's doing a great job. And not only that, he's a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta love that. And he loves the Broncos. If he wasn't playing for them, he'd be out there drinking beer and doing shot skis with us. I love it. I love it.
No, Walter Payton, Man of the Year for the Broncos. So, look, this is a guy that, they obviously really respect. And, John, what were you going to say, man?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're far removed from the days of Garrett Holds. And, but in general, just to – because I don't want to talk about Garrett Bowles the whole show, but the penalties have just come down in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And for the first 10 weeks, every post game that Sean Payton was doing was, well, we just got to do better with penalties, and we're going to work on that, blah, blah, blah. And it seemed like he's just repeating himself every week. And I didn't think that this was going to be a problem that was going to be fixed. But for the past 2 weeks, they're down. They're down.
3.
Yeah, 3 weeks. You're right. And they're down pretty significantly. Yeah. And that was one of the things that was holding us back. We still won all those games, but we're making it harder on ourselves. And now we finally seen, not that we can't complain about the refs for certain calls yesterday, but they're finally getting their shit together when it comes to penalties. And if they can continue that run, I mean, what are we missing? Like, what do we have to work on?
You said that I'm right there with you, John, talking about going into the bye week. I was totally reserved to the fact, like, this is just not going to get fixed this year. If it's this far into the season, this is just the way it's going to be, and we're going to have to find ways to overcome beating ourselves, right? It's not just overcoming the refs or overcoming the opponent, overcoming our own selves. And we were doing it, but it's like, that's not going to be something that's going to be sustainable, or that's going to come to bite us in the butt at some point, right? But coming out of the bye week, they've definitely reduced that significantly. Only 6 yesterday. I can't remember the last 2 games, but starting with that game out in Washington, they've cleaned it up a lot. And, Riley Moss is just doing incredibly well. It kind of seemed like the refs are always just watching him with their hand on the flag, but it's just not really there anymore, right? There's no reason for them to throw the flag for the vast majority of it. And it's fantastic to see Garrett Bowles turning things around. You know, how many players in the league would have had a start to their career like Bowles had, where the fans just cannot stand him. They're constantly making fun of him. Like I know I will take full blame and credit for some of those jokes and just hating on the guy. When you hear the stadium just booing, all of them booing at you consistently, right? How easy would have it for him to be like, you know what, either I'm just done or I'm going to go try to start over in a new team, you know, with a new fan base that, you know, can maybe give me a chance. He stuck it out. And for as much credit as I give to Courtland Sutton for sticking it out through the bad years, you know, I think Garrett Bowles has had a tougher journey because he's had to overcome his own habits, his own gameplay to figure out how to play this game where he's not hurting the team, he's helping the team, and then to stick around through it all as well, right? So those two guys, I'm going to keep shouting them out every chance I get the next several, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, whatever it is, because they deserve, you know, all these guys deserve all the great things they're experiencing right now. But these two guys have just got to be bewildered by what they're experiencing, seeing themselves, you know, in this position with a playoff berth already clinched, seeing themselves on top of the AFC as a I mean, this is probably something 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago they never thought they'd probably see. You know, and here they are.
And I was just thinking about this as we were talking about him so much, but if he plays to this level for the next 2, 3 years, still talking about Garrett Bowles, I mean, how far off is he from a Ring of Fame induction for the Broncos?
I don't think so.
You think about it.
I don't think so at all.
I think he's first year.
I mean, it's very rare for a guy to get 3 contracts with the same team. And I don't know that anybody, and there was absolutely nobody clamoring for the second contract that he got here. And I think it's also a testament to the fan base too. Like if you play bad, they're passionate enough to let you know that you're not playing very well, but all is forgiven and all is forgotten if you just start playing well. And for this franchise to just basically go from, to calling him Garrett Holds. And I wish somebody would hug me as close as Garrett Bowles hugs somebody else. You know, all the jokes to now that he is probably one of the most beloved, you know, members on the team from everything that he's gone through as well. Like, I mean, his backstory, to the struggles with the team, to his frustrations. I mean, everything. Garrett Bowles and Courtland Sutton are 2 of the like success stories of not just the NFL, but on this team as well.
Look, I'm in the GB zone, but I understand the frustrations. He probably had as much trouble getting that 3rd contract as I did getting my 2nd drink from my beautiful, lovely flag ma'am wife, who I want to thank.
I want to thank her not just for everything, but for her Bills yesterday as well. You know, she's a Broncos fan, but she also loves the Bills. And so to the flag ma'am, thank you for your Bills.
Let's qualify that. It's not like she's a Bills fan that just became a Bills fan. She grew up in Buffalo.
It's fair. Yep.
Got converted. And so I kind of
we'll hold it against her.
If it's not Broncos, because it's Broncos in this family. And then there's the Bills. Like that little brother. That if the big brother can't bring it home, you're rooting for the little brother.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I tell you what, I'm not concerned about the Bills because their coach is a dumbass.
Yeah.
It will be gone. And, oh, my God, I got her coming this way. And she just her head. Oh, she just said I suck.
Oh, no, she didn't. And if she did, it was with love. Because your wife is fantastic.
It was.
One thing that I did want to point out from yesterday's game, it didn't end up being a factor, right? But what was with that 4th down call play formation with the 3 backs in a line, like they were going to try to – I thought that was just another example of Sean Payton trying to be too cutesy. It's 4th and 1. Why weren't we using our fullback in some of those short yardage situations more often? Like what we saw that work, and I know that the Packers are not the Raiders, right? But we have the fullback, and why not in those situations? Maybe you guys can shed this light on me, but it did not. As soon as I saw that formation, I was like, this is going to be stupid. And it was so stupid, right? Why do you not just run the ball down the gut? I know we can't do the push tush, like we're not built for that, right? But you can use your fullback, get him the ball, or use him to block and make a hole large enough for RJ or someone to get up there. Like that play call, I was like, Sean, this is an example of you trying to be, he just needs to go through his playbook and say, yeah, this is me trying to be too smart. Just get rid of it. Because how often do we see those fancy kind of calls work, right?
Not this season. Not this season at all. And I was right there with you, Kevin, because, okay, we're up by 8 at that point, but we're putting it on the defense when that doesn't work. And, well, you said use the fullback. I don't know if you realize this, Kevin. That was the fullback that got the ball.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I meant in the normal formation configuration.
And it was a weird formation. It was obviously it was going to go, I don't know. But, yeah. It's worked before when we've had them up in, fullback, running back, give it to the fullback, get him 1 yard. He knows how to run those plays. Why are we doing this weird-ass formation? You're right. Sean Payton was trying to be the smartest guy in the room, as he normally is, and it bit him in the ass again. I mean, but you could also go back to a previous drive.
But did it?
What's that?
We won the game.
We won the game.
In the ass.
It didn't. Look, and that's fine. I'm just saying it's going to happen at least once a game where we have one of these plays where we're like, what
right?
But I'll go back to give Sean credit. We had a 3rd and 3, and we threw it long to Sutton, and now it's 4th.
Oh my goodness!
And we pretty much run on an almost identical play back to Sutton. He catches it, and when he threw that 4th down ball, I was just like, again, really?
Again?
That's what I thought.
But there you go.
Sean, just get it over the middle.
In that case, so you just got to take it and love it or hate it. You're gonna have to take it on those type of plays.
Yeah.
He's playing with it with house money. I'm telling you.
True.
The fact that he hasn't used Mims the way I know he knows he can use Mims is saving it for the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the stuff he is doing, and maybe I'm just like bought in, but this guy, he's just like playing chess while we're playing checkers. I think
for the most part,
I could be 100% off, and I'll change my tune when it doesn't work out. But the whole, just the interchange of players, and you're going to do this, and then it's like, what the hell are you doing? And now it's starting to pay off.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows who he trusts, and he knows who he maybe doesn't trust.
Right.
And it's starting to come to fruition. And conspiracy theory, I just think that Mims is on the shelf because he's told him, I got bigger plans for you in the playoffs.
Well, really Adam has the opposition view here, and so I'm going to dive him out.
I tried.
So really from hard. The opposition leader, Adam.
I love Marvin Mims as much as the next guy. There was a big push to get Marvin Mims integrated into the offense in the first part of the year. That didn't work because Marvin Mims is not good at playing wideout for whatever reason. He's very good at being fast. He's very good at being athletic. He is not good at being a wideout yet. For whatever reason. But to kind of get back to Sean Payton a little bit, on my own YouTube channel, if you go over there and check it out, you would have seen a 9-minute video of me being as thoughtful as I could be in my analysis of the play, and also calling Sean Payton Sean like I've known him for decades, as I screamed at the TV over 2 4th down calls where it's literally, dude, just sneak it. Just sneak it twice, and we have our first down. We get to kneel on the ball. Game over.
Yeah.
Again, it worked out fine, but you still gave Green Bay 2 bites at the apple at the end of the game. And it didn't come back to bite you, but there was the opportunity there. And yeah, I'm not going to talk in if ands or buts. I already said don't apologize for winning, but that also is like those are the times where it's like, Sean, what are we doing, man? Let's yes, you're the smartest guy in the room, whatever, but let's quarterback sneaks work too, and so
and okay, so two things. In the first half, we had to call a timeout. And that was the other thing. The timeout management in this game was all over the place by both sides. We had to call a timeout in the first half to then run a 1-yard QB sneak on 4th down. And it's like, what, you really need to call timeout? Like, you couldn't get the play call in to run a QB sneak? And then on this drive, the last offensive drive of the game, the play before it was 3rd and 4, and Bo escapes a sack, and he gets 3 yards to make it 4th and 1. Trust that guy, like you're saying, Adam. Give him the QB sneak right there. Like, come on. Or I wouldn't even have been upset if he did the running back or the fullback handoff, like we've seen in the past, where we just need a yard and we give it to Prentice in a normal freaking formation, so they don't have it. So it's not like blatantly obvious. But I don't know. There were just certain times this game where I'm just scratching my head, like, what the heck are we doing with it? Mainly with timeouts.
They don't believe. You don't believe. Believe.
Look, there's a lot of really good things this team is doing, and we've seen them clean stuff up throughout the course of the season. The player rotation that they've gotten that to be smoother. Obviously, there's still little bumps, right? And I think if you're just going to have complex packages that you're changing every play, it's really incumbent on the players to kind of recognize the situation and say, hey, it's 4th and 1. Do you need me? Like, I'm ready to go. But it's also incumbent upon the coaches too to get that call in on time, right? There's no need to be, draining the play clock all the way down to the end because you're waiting on players, you're waiting on the call, and it's a QB sneak, right? There's nothing fancy. It's not 1st and 15 that maybe we need to think about who do we want to send out there for the situation, wherever the case is. Just go out there and get the job done, right? So there's little things they can do better. I did not like that they, like you're saying, Adam, gave Green Bay a chance at the end. Like, obviously it worked out for us. But I think part of it was they were just gassed. You could tell that just being on the road, being in Mile High, they were tired. They were really tired. And, and that's kind of why, looking back, I was okay with them playing zone in the beginning. They were running a lot, right? It got them to be real tired by the end of the game, where the Broncos were just they were ready to go, right? But it's almost like every time you saw a Green Bay player on the sideline, they're sucking air. I didn't blame them. But, that is a good advantage. But you got to just remember, how are you going to do that on the road too? You can't take those chances. If you have a chance to close out the game, run the ball up the damn middle, get the first down so you can kneel it out. You don't want to give somebody like Jordan Love a chance, right? You don't want to give Josh Allen a chance, right? Just close out the game. Keep it simple, stupid, right? Not calling you stupid, coach. I'm just saying that's the terminology, it's phrase. I'm sure you've heard it before. I'm sure you've used it before. I'm just saying, just kiss, right? Just kiss, and just move on with your life. So interesting stuff. Let's think. Well, any other comments from or thoughts from yesterday's game that really kind of stood out to you guys?
Well, one guy we haven't talked about is 𝐿𝐴, who was
that's right.
Out of his mind. That tackle on Josh Jacobs was like 3rd and 3 or something like that. Maybe it was 3rd and 1. I don't even remember. Where he takes the blocker into the running back. Like, that was just awesome. That's how he's played all year. And he's been our best offseason sign by far, in my opinion. And
in a decade.
I can play defense.
Well, and Greenlaw is starting to.
Yeah. He's feeling himself.
Hurt himself now. It's like you feel his presence, and he's just nasty. He's nasty. There was a skirmish on the sideline before the game started, and Greenlaw was right there. And I like the fact that Singleton was also involved, because I never thought of him as being kind of nasty. But that little shoulder shrug, and then Greenlaw just comes in and just cleans it up. And I love that. We need nasty. We had nasty in 2015. And now we are getting it again, and we just need to hold on to it and enjoy the ride. The offense that I said was going to be a top 10 offense may not happen, but they're going to be much, much, much better. We're going to start seeing a lot more of the players that they said, oh, we don't have any playmakers. They're starting to make plays. They're starting to actually make catches that other receivers make for their star quarterback, that you were like, wait a minute, why can't you catch that? I know it's a tough catch, but catch it.
Yep.
And now it's gonna. That's the next thing, and then it's that defense taking that next step, and the next step is going to be putting it up somebody's ass, because they are going to be bad MFers.
Yeah, but I love it.
To your point, Flagman, the intensity in this game, just from the beginning, like pre-kickoff, like this was a playoff. And I was like,
yes.
You hate the Packers this much? I didn't think we did.
No, they were just amped.
No.
But this was playoff intensity, and I loved to see it. It felt like a playoff game watching
us against everybody.
Yeah.
Underrated, as the Mad Fanatic would say.
I mean, if you're looking at the 2015 defense, they kind of got their edge when they signed TJ Ward and 𝐒𝐫𝐨𝐬𝐭.
Yes.
As good a defense as they were last year, and they started showing signs of being the group that we see now. The two players that gave them that edge, Tala Hufanga and DJ Greenlaw. And you're starting to see Greenlaw start to be that enforcer type in the middle of the field. The big hit that he had on Josh Jacobs. He ideally should have had that the PBU in the end zone. Tip of the hat to Josh Jacobs for making that catch.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
And then Hufanga, I mean, basically makes a play a game that kind of just proves that he's worth every penny of what they're paying him. And for him to knock out a guy and bring it down and bring the back down in the backfield that's a play where you jump out of your seat and you're just hyped. And to your credit, John, no, this had the feel of a playoff game. The Packers were very much trying to make this a playoff game and put their stamp on this. And it was two bulls going at it, and guess what? We were the bigger bull yesterday. Yep. And so if any other team wants to try to mad dog and the little schoolboy stuff and try to play the intimidation game, bring it. John Franklin Myers said it best in his post game, where we didn't start it, but we'll finish it. So
yeah. Who are we afraid of, guys? Who are we afraid of? As Jonathan Cooper said, nobody. Absolutely nobody. Guys, we got some closing thoughts here coming up in just a sec, so stick around. Also, if you are dying to find out how to make your hair as stylish as John, he's going to give you the secret. It's not a mousse. It's not a gel. It's something. And he's going to tell you coming up here in a minute. First off, guys, don't forget, tomorrow night's extra special show of Bourbon Broncos and OBS. I mean, they're all super extra special, especially when the Broncos are looking as amazing as they have been. But make sure you tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Check out the pregame podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher. Game day, we are live 1 hour for kickoff and at halftime as well. And don't forget to check us out at broncosandbourbon.com. But let's wrap this show up with some closing thoughts, guys, as we celebrate our 11th win. Don't forget, tomorrow night on the show, we'll finish covering this game, and then we'll start talking about the Week 16 matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, John, dude, spill the beans. I'm dying to know. We've been getting like 1,000 messages in the inbox. I want to look as good as John does, and I don't tell him, man. So what is it?
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, thank you, first of all. That was very kind. You seem to have a little bit of jealousy going on here. And it seems to come up once a week, usually at 8 o'clock on Monday night. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It's genetics, my friend. So the only advice I can say is, marry someone with good hair. I'm telling you, my 1-year-old child, he came out with this exact same head of hair. And I believe it. I'm not even kidding. It's
styled and everything, right?
They'll find a good barber, of course. They'll give you all the recommendations.
That is crucial.
That is crucial. But yeah, just marry someone with good hair, I guess. It's the only thing I can tell you. Can I get my closing thoughts as well, or is that my
go for it, buddy. We'll start with you.
We'll allow it.
Here's the deal. We are number one in the AFC. We are game up with the tiebreaker in our favor. And look, if we go 2-0 in the next 2 weeks, it's wrapped up. Sure, there's potential to do that this week if certain things fall our way. But screw it. We don't need other teams to help us do this. Let's go 2-0 and then be starting Stidham against the Chargers. Maybe Champagne.
And then go beat the Chargers with Stidham.
Like, let's go. Ken mentioned it earlier. Yeah. Bo Nix is not going to pass the Russell Wilson, which it was Russell Wilson. I apparently blacked out different, standards that he has set because of what he's done here. But yeah, you're right. I don't think Bo is going to be passing Russ in most wins in his first 2 years, because I don't think Bo's playing the rest of these games. He's playing this week for sure. Maybe, depending how things go, he's not playing for the last 2 weeks. Maybe our backups are going to be playing the Chiefs backups. Wouldn't that be nice? But
that'll be riveting TV.
I know.
I still watch.
Why?
Still watching.
Never in my life would I thought we were going to be here after week 15? Is that what we just played?
Yeah.
To be in position to potentially lock up the 1 seed this weekend with 3 games to go. Well, 2 games after this. So
yeah,
it's a beautiful time to be a Broncos fan.
It's a beautiful time to be a Broncos fan. Scott, buddy, Flagman, what you got for us?
Well, I can just tell you, it's been a while since we've been in this position. I can't believe that we haven't won the West yet, but we are so damn close. Those Chargers are going to charger.
Yeah,
we're going to beat Jacksonville this week, and you know what? I don't care if the national media wants to say we're good or we're not good. I love trolling those sad sacks in Green Bay, because they were like, oh, and then trolling some of these Kansas City people. Oh my God. Welcome home. Where have I been?
Yeah.
You guys have gone back to 2015.
Yep.
You're going to stay there, because we're going to just keep kicking your ass.
Every week, every year. Yep. Love it. Adam, buddy, I don't know how you can follow these two up, but I'm going to give you the challenge, man. What do you think?
Well, Flagman, I like to troll online a little bit after Broncos wins. It's therapeutic. And I came across some Charger fans today who had the
they exist.
They do exist, both of them. I happen to encounter both of them today. And what is so funny about it is, and while they are also trolling the Chiefs, which I mean, I'm for it. Let's get a couple things straight with the little brothers of the division. Okay, until you get one of these, you're at the kiddie table of the division. All right. Yeah. So, like the great street prophet Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson said, know your role and shut your mouth until we get that last game. You led for about a couple milliseconds, and you're waving your consolation flags about that. So even if we get you in the last part of the regular season, guess what? You're not winning the West this year, guys. And you're always going to be little brother. And whenever you try to bring stuff like, oh, we're 5-0 in the division, guess what? You're bringing a knife to a gunfight. All right. And all that means is that we're going to win the West, even with you having a better division record. Because guess what? We're the better team. So don't matter.
Full on.
Yes.
Full on. Look, the Broncos just they find ways to win. And we talked about them being battle tested. And I think that's exactly what's going to help carry them through. You got the storylines that I think, again, you go back to any kind of championship team and you can probably find at least one good storyline, something that is really bringing the team together and giving them something to fight for other than just wanting to win the championship. It's wanting to win the championship for someone or for a cause. And we got at least 2 of those stories there, 3, between Alex Singleton and what he's done this year and what he's gone through. You got Garrett Bowles, Cortland Sutton. Those 3 storylines alone are enough to push somebody over the edge. And when they're fighting for each other and they're finding ways to win, and it doesn't matter if the refs are against them that day or not, it doesn't matter what else is going on, it doesn't matter who their opponent is, they're ready to play. And the leadership on this team, from Sean Payton, from the ownership, all the way down to Bo Nix, to the other captains on the team, every single one of them are doing their job incredibly well. And yeah, these teams don't scare me, right? And it's not to say that I recognize that they're not good, right? They are good. And the Broncos need to play their A game, but I don't think they're a team that is going to allow themselves to get complacent, right? They're not showing any kind of sign of that in any way, shape, or form. So this is going to continue to be a fun ride. It ain't ending anytime soon. I really don't think that. And we'll probably talk about what our, realistic, playoff expectations are on tomorrow night's show as well. So make sure you join us for that, guys. It's been fantastic having you on, Adam, John, Scott, the Flag Man. You guys are all fantastic as always. You're great hosts. Everybody in the comments, you guys know who you are. I can't name you all up a name. We'd be here for another 30 minutes. Love every single one of you guys. Love the support. Love the interaction, guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in. But we will be back tomorrow night with another edition of the Bourbon Broncos No BS just live flagship show, and we'll have some more fun there. So with that being said, we've been talking for a while, but I got nothing left to say other than end this show as we always do with a very strong Go Broncos!
Go Broncos! Go Broncos!
We'll see you guys later.
Right, and I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go.